When working with someone with dementia, a song will often elicit some sort of memory response, usually their long-term memory, and it might bring up something that happened to them a long time ago, which can facilitate an interaction between myself and them when spontaneously they wouldn't have remembered that memory. So music can bring that back. It can, people will remember song lyrics. I'll rarely ask somebody, what song do you want to hear? Because they have a hard time recalling that. But once we start singing the song, the lyrics come back.
I've always loved classical music, especially opera. But everything's available for me here. And we have a music therapy teacher here. She's very good with me. And I love the music sessions with her. As I say, my greatest love is opera. And I'm able to hear it here.
Yeah.
So it's great.
During Lloyd's last couple of years in his own home, as I was in denial about his changing memory, he wasn't able to even play his opera CDs or put the radio on. So now I know that at least once a week with the music therapist, he gets to get a good dose of his favorite opera, and he does have all his CDs
I have the music here also.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the veterans that have severe dementia that respond to the music of the 30s and 40s during their time at war, you see a response clinically that is full of smiles and interactivity and engagement with our staff that wasn't present despite our best efforts with medication or even with therapy. The music seems to unlock something in their memory and open up a kind of emotional experience that is such a delight to witness.
So there's the phrase that a picture's worth 1,000 words, and I think that's very true in art therapy. Often our residents have lost abilities to communicate fully as well as they were used to. With art, there's just a whole other language to communicate with. They can use it for discussion, they can use it to bring forth memories. It's just a whole different way of sort of communicating and speaking.
Well, when you first come in here, I was very, very upset. I took it very badly. It took me a month to get over it because he's been with me for so long. He had to ask me a lot of questions of what's going to happen, and he eventually got interested in a lot of things that Sunnybrook had to offer the veterans in relation to art,
photography and
ukulele,
astronomy.
He loves his astronomy. He loves his companion to read to him. He's very, it's important for him to get involved because George is a very, very active person.
As soon as you get the vision and the hands, the tactile experience of looking at something, creating colors, creating an image, painting, you are getting into a different part of the brain that nothing else can do. You can't do that with medications. You can't do that with talk therapy. It's a part of our existence from our youth that is plugged into, and that can only help bring back memories.
The goal of the recreation therapists here in order to help meet the needs of the residents with cognitive impairments is to meet both their cognitive, their emotional, and their physical well-being. And so in terms of enhancing their cognitive needs, we do specific programs related to enhancing their memory, both short and long term. We do trivia groups. We offer opportunities for reminiscing, opportunities for social engagements, opportunities to give back, a sense of commitment, a sense of being themselves, of developing themselves, of helping others, trying to find a meaningful role within the cognitive support unit.
Every year he's taken to the C&E and he watches the planes. Yeah. He's been to all sorts of concerts, restaurants. He was at the Hamilton War Museum.
Yeah.
They took him to Ottawa. He's, like I said, his social activities are great.
Yeah, I've never had it so good from a standpoint of social activities. And I would never have got around to these places had I not been here.
Yeah. Every year they've taken him out to High Park, near where he used to live.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And what recreational therapy does in that setting is bring people together in a group, and they're collectively having an identity where they're feeling safe, they're feeling together. And then if they break off and do individual recreational therapy, you're also doing something that's pleasurable for them. And all of that is about recognizing them and regaining the trust and reducing the paranoia and making someone feel who has dementia regarded.
Here at Sunnybrook Veterans Center, we have the horticultural therapy program, which is for the veterans in both the greenhouse, in their rooms, or in the gardens that we have. And it's helpful to have this program. It is very beneficial for their cognitive, intellectual, social, spiritual, and behavioral. For the residents who struggle with dementia, it's very rewarding to see that when they come to the garden, it's very natural for them to touch the plants, to want to work in the soil if that's what they did all of their lives. And for some of the veterans, they may not have had time to be in the garden and to work with the soil, but it's very rewarding for them and for myself to see that they see the enjoyment in just doing things little by little, seeing the growth and seeing the harvest if they've been working with the vegetables.
I think for a lot of our patients, being gardeners, whether it was flower gardens or vegetable gardens, was a big part of their life before they became elderly and before their health or their cognition affected their ability to function. And so having access to a garden, to be able to get their hands dirty, just really reminds them of the joy that they have had in the past and makes them feel alive.
There's a lot of emotions that come with the diagnosis of dementia, not only for the person living with dementia, but also caregivers, family, friends. Not every day will be a good day, but we advocate for living well with dementia, and we always find that there can be something good in every day, even if it's just someone having coffee with a friend, or someone being able to enjoy a movie, or perhaps sing a song, or small moments that eventually can make someone experience a little bit of that joy that they don't feel anymore.
For residents with dementia, the ability to recognize faces and people around them becomes more and more impaired as the illness progresses. However, most patients with dementia will still be able to recognize close relatives, such as spouses and their children. So having the availability of family around is particularly comforting for individuals with dementia. Relatives and caregivers of patients with dementia sometimes express frustration to me because they've had a really good day with their relative, and they come back the next day and their relative with dementia has no recollection of what transpired. I tell them not to worry. As long as their relative is experiencing a really good day, an enjoyable day, a day filled with recognition of the ones around them that love them and things that they're participating in that are enjoyable, that will benefit them. That improves their quality of life, and that's the ultimate goal of good dementia care.
I think it's been a really easy transition for Lloyd. Though as I say that, I think, it's been over 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think it was, of course, much tougher probably for me to sign the initial papers as the power of attorney to make sure that Lloyd was looked after here. Yeah. And I really felt like I was taking away his freedom at first, and it took me a while to realize that I was giving him his freedom.
It was my new home. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Really.